Alright, so we got the 197 spoilers, and this chapter is pretty exciting because it looks like it's finally happening. Something that we've been talking about these last couple weeks in relation to Naoya. The exchanges that Maki had with Mio hadn't even taken 1 minute. Naoya keeps raising his speed, but Maki can keep up. What the heck? From Naoya. It's almost like she's now able to see the air and can dodge attacks that change directions. Okay, so this is, I guess, expected considering what has been going on. Coming off of Maki getting like a serious power-up, I suppose. On top of the serious power-up that she got back in the chapter 149 or whatever, you know, after Mai had sacrificed herself so that she can get Heavenly Restriction. But this is to go even beyond Heavenly Restriction, to get to possibly where Toji was, or close to it. But let me catch you up to speed in case you need a refresher. So, in the last couple chapters, randomly these two reincarnated warrior guys just showed up asking for a katana or a sumo match. And it eventually got to the point of where Maki was able to give them both of these things. Maki giving the swordsman Daido her sword, and Maki giving Mio, the sumo guy, a sumo match. But once Daido did get the sword, it was revealed that like he has like his own unique version of Heavenly Restriction or something, as to where he can't use curse energy, he can't even see curses. But when he has like a sword, he has like Heavenly Restriction or something, or at least in the realm of swordsman. And his senses and perception are like on the next level, as to where like he can cut Naoya without even seeing him, as to where Maki wasn't even able to do that while seeing him. And Maki asked Daido, like, you can't see him? And he was like, can I see it, you ask? No, but if I see everything else, then it's the same as if I am seeing. And this like broke Maki. She was like, what? My attacks didn't do that. What is it that I'm not seeing? Also guys, if you like my Jujutsu Kaisen content, please subscribe if you haven't already. It's fine if you don't want to, but if you just need a reminder, here you go. Thanks. And then that brings us to the previous chapter where she just had like a Deus Ex training with Mio here, who activated his domain, which like forces you to have a sumo match without jujitsu. And during the sumo match, Mio basically trained Maki to quickly get to the perception level of Daido, because he said that he knew what Daido was talking about in that instance. And he said, it's like smelling light or seeing sound. You sense everything about your opponent and yourself, and then the body before your eyes and even victory and defeat themselves become meaningless. In other words, the samurai was talking about freedom. Now you'll just have to experience it for yourself. And then after Mio told her that, along with their little sumo session, she had like a breakthrough, and she figured out how to do this next level awareness, perception, freedom thing. And at the end of the chapter, like, she broke out of the domain and she said, I'm at my best, while smiling, which is like a big change for Maki. So yeah, that was it. That's all she needed. She just needed to hear the words, I guess, and feel the movement of sumo, and she's at the higher level of perception. I mean, I'm not gonna nitpick it too much. She does have Heavenly Restriction, she does have potential, and we kind of need to progress through this part of the story. So if she just needs her, you know, one Bleach chapter of sudden progression, it's fine. She's got it. And that brings us back to the spoiler here. The exchanges that Maki had with Mio hadn't even taken 1 minute. So does that mean the previous chapter, or once they entered Mio's domain, didn't even last a minute? Meaning that she achieved this enlightenment in a minute or less? I'm not sure. We'll have to see what it says on the page, of course. Naoya keeps raising his speed, but Maki can keep up. So this is understandable because, like we said, we just got her power up, or her perception power up, her freedom, if you will. I'm not really sure how fast Naoya is going, because the last time that we got an indication of his speed, it was like Mach 3, but he was like charging up, and it was like one of his like main attacks, of course. That's like the thing that originally like seriously injured Maki, that required her to take some time off to heal, 5 minutes precisely, which she didn't even get necessarily. But maybe while she was with Mio in the domain, maybe she was healing at that time too. But if he is going faster than Mach 3 here, or just faster than he was initially moving without doing that charge up attack, then Maki is beyond fast here. She might be rivaling Toji finally. It's almost like she's now able to see the air and can dodge attacks that change directions. So this is pretty cool, and of course this goes back to what we discovered in the previous chapter with Mio breaking down what Daido had said. It's like smelling light or seeing sound. You sense everything about your opponent and yourself. So her being able to see the air and dodge the attacks that change directions is an application of that. So now she can perceive and intercept Naoya, unlike she was able to before. And that brings us to the next set of spoilers here. Mio hits with a headbutt, and Naoya is cut in two with a sword. So I love this. I really wanted to see Mio and Daido jump in on the battle here, and just everyone just kind of gang up on Naoya, because that is one of the fun aspects of Jujutsu Kaisen. Sometimes we do get just sorcerers or just characters ganging up on the bad guys. From one half, Naoya in human form emerges. Domain expansion. So this is it. This is what we've been talking about for a while now, and it's that Naoya was going to have a third form, and it was probably going to be like humanoid or something with wings, because we've kind of been following the metamorphosis of like a butterfly or a moth, because it started off with his like cursed womb form, where he was like a worm caterpillar thing, and then his second form he became like this cocoon metapody type thing. So naturally there was going to be a third form, but the domain expansion here is something I did not expect, and this is super exciting because I don't think we've seen the domain expansion of someone who uses projection sorcery. It makes you wonder, like, what would that even be? Like, it doesn't necessarily have to perfectly adapt like projection sorcery itself into like the domain, but I assume it'll kind of be like that. Like, maybe whatever the domain encapsulates becomes projected sorcery, if you will. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to just touch you and then you have to obey the 24 frames and then you get trapped in it or whatever. Maybe all of the reality within the domain itself becomes a part of the projected sorcery, meaning that it's just frames of reality now instead of just frames of movement or what the user has mapped out. But now I'm way more excited than I was originally with this whole turn of events that's going on in this battle. And like we've been saying before, Naoya is going to be possibly the strongest curse that we've seen so far in this form, because he was already unbelievably powerful in his second form, and now that he's in his third, probably going to be surpassing the big four natural curses, I assume, because it was already stated that he's pretty much surpassing them in speed, if anything. And I also think that he's either going to kill Mio or Daido, or both of them possibly. I mean, I hope not, but I think one of them at least is going to die, because it kind of feels that way. And then maybe one of them will stick around and stay with Maki and Noritoshi afterwards, because like I've been saying, that's kind of like the theme of what we've been doing with the culling game and the main characters here. They kind of just like get this new companion or just a new ally to them that they bring along, and they're all going to come together at the end and fight Sukuna, I guess, you know, something like that. And then ultimately Maki is going to be the one to defeat final form Naoya here, like we expected, and she's got the power up necessary to do it. And I'm sure it's still going to be high diff, and she might get some assistance from Noritoshi, but she's going to get the job done here ultimately, and it's going to be pretty awesome. I want to see what her new heavenly restriction is like in Naoya's domain. That's going to be interesting as well. But let me know what you think about these spoilers in the comments, guys, and if you liked the video, please give it a like and please subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.